Hello guys, today I'm going to be showing you my Nvidia GeForce settings and my graphics and general settings, so let's get right into it. My general settings are 120 field of view, brightness 50, 100 horizontal heads-up display, and vertical heads-up display is also 100, just so it's more like in the middle of my screen. My tooltips are enabled. I don't use a colorblind type, but if you are going to use one, I recommend using whatever that's called. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. And colorblind target set to both. Minimap square, minimap rotation, I have enabled. And compass, cardinal direction text doesn't really matter. It's kind of preference. I use letters just because it's easier. And yeah, this stuff was kind of generally there. I didn't change these that much. So these are here to copy. Just take a quick screenshot if you need to. My graphics are full screen borderless, but I do recommend full screen more. I just normally tab out a lot during games and stuff. Resolution 100. If you're going to use 2560 times 1440, you should probably use 100. It's going to make your game look a lot nicer and cleaner. The video highlights I have disabled. Custom frame rate limit, for me, I'm going to put that on unlimited right now. Display gamma, use 2.2 if you're on a PC monitor, and 2.4 if you're on a PC TV. Streaming quality, normal. Texture resolution, normal. Texture filter, tropic. Can't speak today at all. I have it normal. Particle quality is high. Bullet impact and sprays, and it is enabled. Tessellation is disabled. Doesn't really matter that much. Shadow map resolution is high. Cast spot shadows is enabled, and particle lighting is high. DirectX ray tracing for me is disabled. Ambient occlusion disabled. Screen spray SSR, my gosh, is disabled. Filmic strength 0. Filmic SMAA T2X is what I have on. Depth of field is disabled. I just don't really like it. It's kind of preference, but yeah. World motion blur for me is disabled. Weapon motion blur is disabled. I recommend world motion blur if you're doing a campaign. I mean, not world motion blur, weapon motion blur if you're doing a campaign, but for multiplayer stuff, it's not really good. And then film grain is 0. Dynamic resolution is enabled, and dynamic resolution frame rate target is at 60. Now, to my GeForce Nvidia settings, I just press Alt-Z and then go over to Game Filter. This is only if you have a Nvidia graphics card. So, over here, this one is more like for brighter and more like, more bright, so you can see those dark corners more and the rose skins more, but I don't recommend this one as much as I do the other one. Tint color 0, temperature 0.5, vibrance 50.7, and brightness 0. Brightness and contrast. Exposure is at 0. Contrast is at 15%. Highlights is at 21%, and shadows is at negative 100. Now, for this one, which I recommend more because you can see more and it's more vibrant, for details, you're going to want sharpen at 36, clarity at 49, HDR toning at 49, bloom is going to be at 0, color, you're going to want tint color at 0, tint intensity 0, vibrance 0.5. No, not vibrance. Temperature is at 0.5. And vibrance is at 32.7. What this does, it makes your game a lot nicer looking. I'll go into a game and I'll show you. But, yeah, that's basically my general settings and my graphic settings. Okay, I am in the game now. So this is what the game will look like if you have an LG monitor like mine. It looks very vibrant, and it kind of pops a lot more. Like, once the game fully starts, I'll show you what I mean. So, yeah. It makes you see a lot better in those dark corners and all those rose skins and every dark black skin that is hard to see. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. That corner would be a lot darker without the Nvidia on. And just this whole building, when you're inside, it would become a lot darker and harder to see people, and just harder to see in general. Now, this is it without the game filter on. See, obviously it's a lot darker. That is harder to see. In here is going to be darker too. Now, once I move upstairs, over down there, if someone was just hiding right there, until you see the name tag, it would be pretty hard to see them. But when you turn the filter on, you can see it a lot more clear, and just the game looks better overall. And same thing with outside. Now, it's obviously not going to be people hiding there because you're going to be able to see them without the thing on. But this is just an example. So if you turned it off, the game just looks a lot more gray and boring, bland, like there's no life. But then, when game filter goes on, it just looks a lot better in general. So these settings are only if you want them. You don't necessarily need them to have a good experience, but I do recommend them a lot. So that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.